Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another weekly book review. I'm Dr. Lisa L. Campbell, the Growth Motivator, and today I'm reviewing a compilation book titled Holistic Mental Health. Calm, clear, and in control for the rest of your life. I don't know about you, but at the young, tender age of 51, I've been through some things. And I wish that I had tools like this to help me get through the times when I felt all alone. Now, just to be clear, at 51, there are still some times when I feel all alone, but I know where to go for help. For me, from a holistic perspective, it's about my books. Now, you guys cannot see this, right? You can see this row here. You could see, this row here. But there are more books that I have on my shelf. And I highlight my books, I underline, I do all these things and I capture the date. And why do I capture the date? I capture the date when I'm reading the book so that I can reflect on what was happening at that time. Most recently, I was stuck in the airport for about 3 extra hours, not because of the computer situation, but I wrote down the date, where I was, and what was happening that day, which actually happened to be, let's see, it was on a Wednesday. And so this was 2 days before the computer situation. But I write it down so that when I pull the book off the shelf at another time and place, I can reflect on what I was doing at that moment, how I'm feeling today. So, holistic mental health again is a compilation book. It's written by multiple authors, and the chapters really speak to me. One of the chapters was, this is the first one, Worthy to the Core, the freedom of embodying your soul's purpose. Another chapter, this is chapter 8, Getting Back on the Horse, knowing how to know when it's the right time to step away from or lean in. And if the pandemic hasn't taught me anything, it's about really me protecting me. So I want to really focus on chapter 4, which is on embodying gratitude, how to reduce anxiety in any situation, because this happens to be an author that I interviewed for 52 authors, 52 weeks. So when her episode drops, I highly recommend that you listen to it. But let me just set the stage. So first of all, this author, her name is Teresa Lacorazza, and I hope I said it right. Please, charge it to my head and not my heart. So, embodying gratitude. She wrote this book at a time when her body was literally breaking down. She was diagnosed with Paget's disease, Pagets, Paget's disease. And this is the disease that interferes with your body's normal recycling process. And it's a recycling process in which new bone tissue gradually replaces old bone tissue. Mayo Clinic has some great information on this condition if you're interested. But over time, bones can become fragile and mishappen. And according to the Mayo Clinic, the pelvis, the spine, the legs are most commonly affected. The risk increases with age and if family members have the disorder. However, for reasons that are unknown to the doctors, according to the Mayo Clinic, the disease has become less common over the past several years and is less severe when it does develop. And there are some complications in all the things. But I wanted to get back to her story. So in the book, she talks about being diagnosed with this disease. And she's a woman of faith, right? And she got a phone call that basically said, "You have cancer." And so, July 2021, as a woman of faith, she said, God said to her loud and clear, "Put your money where your mouth is. It's time to practice what you preach." Woo, that hit me like a ton of bricks because as the growth motivator, I'm motivating others on a regular basis, right? Even when I'm not trying to. But there are some times where the growth motivator needs motivating, which is why I have my extensive library all the way up to the ceiling of different books. When this is over, you can get a copy of my book list just to see what I'm reading. In her story, she talked about while she was waiting on the results, she focused on her mindset. She recognized, and I love this, the moments that she needed to cry, the moments that she needed to be alone, and the moments that she just needed to have someone listen to her. She said it, and I'm going to say it. Identifying your emotions when they're happening are so very important to your mental, physical, and emotional wealth. Health is wealth. Teresa said, once she knows exactly what she's feeling, she learned using her techniques, and I am 100% sure her background is like, oh, I can't remember, so I'm not going to even lie. But I think she has a background in social work or therapy or something. But she started to, to use her own tools. But my last point, and what I is so very important, she talks about how gratitude is everything during a crisis. And I read this book months ago, but I've noticed more than ever today, I practice gratitude. I am just sitting outside with nothing to do, just being thankful for what I'm able to do. Not so much of thankful about what I have, but thankful for being here, thankful for serving each others. I'm an asthmatic, thankful for the ability to breathe, something that, we can definitely take for granted. Well, listen, everyone, this has been another weekly book review. Again, don't